Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mercineka, and for those of you who are new here, welcome. So today's video, just as the title suggests, I'm going to be talking about my 10 months LPN program, what it entails, how I was able to go through it, the prereqs, admission process, and pretty much everything you need to. So I decided to do this video because I got a couple of questions in regards to my program itself, and to help one or two people out there who might be considering going this route instead of going for RN straight. I decided to make this video. Before we get into today's video, if you've not seen my previous video, the title is why I chose LPN over the RN. I'm gonna leave it right here so you can click here and go watch that video, and then yeah, you would understand where I'm coming from. As always, I'll shamelessly ask that you subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed watching, and also put on your notifications so you get notified when new videos come up. So let's get right into it. Before I go any further, I want to state that my program was a 10 months program, so it was quite hectic to say the least. It was accelerated, if you want to call it that. So pretty much, if I remember correctly, we started the program in July 2020, and then I was done in May of 2021. So for those who are new here, I'm a nursing student, I'm a mom, and you like on this channel I make a little bit of like everything, nursing videos and mommy videos, family videos and all. So I recently just graduated from my LPN program in May, and right now it's July, and I'm currently in the Bridge RN program in the same school. So the reason I'm making this video, like I said before, is because I'm pretty sure some of you might have like questions as to like what it entails to go for the LPN program versus the RN program, and also like the cost, if you can work going through it, and a whole lot of all that. So let's get down to the nitty-gritty. So the first thing first, to answer the question, can you work if you are in LPN school or nursing school? The answer is yes. All right, so you can definitely work. All I have to say about that is you can work, but then your priorities, you need to like strategize, and you need to be very like up there with time management, because pretty much you have like so little time for so many things to do. So now my program, it was really fast paced. Now bear in mind that before I actually went in, I already had my prereqs done, and for my LPN program, the prereqs which they required was not that much, to be honest. So I had like my English 101, 102, AMP1, AMP2, then they required sociology, psychology, and 2 psychology, and that was it. So for the most part, I actually had almost everything done but my AMP2 and my sociology. Like the application process basically was a points-based system, which simply meant the more prereqs you've done, the more points you get. And for every like point you get, it puts you like ahead a little bit over like your competitors. So like you all know, the nursing program is really competitive, I have to say. So for actually required that you take the ATITs exam as part of the requirements, the admission requirements, and the requirements as a then was 50 was the aggregate score for everything, but then at the same time you had to get 50 in reading, and then you have to get 50 in AMP. For me, I got 69.0, and like the English and the individual scores which were required, I met it, so that placed me ahead. And then I had all my prereqs done in my school, which means you get like a bonus point if you have like your prereqs done in your school, in the school, versus if you're transferring in. So let me explain what I mean. So say for instance you do your AMP in like Wesley College, and you're coming into like my school. So most times, instead of the 7 points that you're supposed to get for like having done that prereq, you see they take off a point, and then you get 6 points, versus who does their AMP in like Salem and get the 7 points max. All right, so like I said, it was a point-based system. You had to get over 50 for the ATI, and you have to have your prereqs done to even meet the benchmark, and pretty much you apply for it. So if I remember correctly, the application deadline was March 8th for a July start for the LPN program. So you put in your application, and then in May, sometime in May, we got like our letter saying we've been accepted into the program. So now let's talk about tuition. When it comes to tuition, like you all know, every school has a way they bill their students. Most times it's usually in-state, out-state, and whatnot. So for me, I was out of state, and I know down in the comment section of my previous video, I did get someone asking how I was able to manage being out of state. So like you all know, out of state it's usually much more expensive than in state, but for me, as a result of like documentation issues and all, I opted for out of state, because even the school that was in my state, I currently live in Delaware. If you've ever heard of it, like it's, you don't want to go there. So anyways, even the school that is currently in state for me was going to classify me as out of state, like I said, as a result of like documentation issues, and it was not even cheaper for me. So what I had to do, I looked at schools around me. So if you know like your geography, you would know Delaware is really close to like a lot of states. We shared like borders with New Jersey, Maryland, Pennsylvania, and basically 2 hours away from New York and whatnot. So like it's a nice place to be if you want to have like access to like these other states I called. So I looked around my I looked around like the neighboring states, and then luckily a friend of mine called me up one day and was like, oh, if you're not going to this school, you should check out this school in New Jersey, right? And I actually did, and it worked in my favor, because out of state, yes, I would be an out of state student, but then I was the tuition was cheaper. So I'm just gonna leave on the screen what I mean by cheaper. So my current school, for tuition, they typically charge this for out of state, and the school I wanted to, they typically charge this for out of state. So per credit, it like was more sensible for me to go here than for me to go to like the college in my current state. For drive time, it was not a big deal, in all honesty. It's still not a big deal because I'm currently still in that school. So typically, at the most, it takes me about 45 minutes to be in school. And sometimes I did get to school in 30 minutes, but that wasn't so much of a big deal because it was during the time of COVID for the most part. So most things were online, and we only had to go to school during the time we had exams and during like my clinical placement. So yeah, that was it. Then when it comes to school fees, how are you? So when it comes to school fees, my fees average $3,500 to $4,000 every trimester. So when I say trimester, it's actually not a mistake. So my school, instead of semester, they use trimester, and the LPN program, though it was 10 months, it was broken down into 4 trimesters. So the first trimester, I pretty much paid, I think about $3,500. The most I did pay was during fall, which they called second trimester and third trimester. That was the most I paid, and everything came up to about $7,800, give or take $8,000. And yeah, and for the final semester, I basically paid about $3,000 once more. This is what I mean when I say my fees averaged about $3,500 to $4,000. And one thing I want to say is, if you're considering going this route, take advantage of the scholarships and grants that might be available for your schools. Lots of schools, they provide this as incentive. Lots of alumni, they provide this as a way of giving back to their schools. So I did this, and I did remember like I got like the book grant twice. It's not a lot of money actually, because it was $200, but $200 is something because it covered the cost of my textbook for like a particular semester. And basically, even if you do end up buying something outside of the school bookshop, as long as you have your receipt, you get your money back. Now down to like the course content or to the structure of like the program itself. The program itself was pretty much straightforward. Every semester we had a single nursing course. So for summer semester, if I remember right, we did we had the introduction to nursing, which was basically your fundamentals, and then for the fall semester or the fall trimester, it's something else. Every school is different, and I know that for some schools they have like different courses, or their courses is broke down into things like med surg 1, med surg 2, and ecology and all that. But for my school, that was not really the case. Everything was embedded into like a particular course. So we could be doing, say, fundamentals. So in fundamentals, we're going to have med surg, we could have maybe maternal newborn and whatnot. So this was how like it was structured. So at the end of the day, at the point of graduation, if I remember correctly, we had done about 5 nursing courses. And like I said, this was a 10-month program. It was really rigorous. To give you an idea of how the program itself went, we started out with about 61 of us, and at the end of the day, during our graduation, we were left with just 31 students. So that tells you that 50% of the class didn't make it to graduation. It was really tough, and it was mostly frustrating because there's pretty much no second chance. You know, the pass mark, what you needed to pass to move on to the next level or the next semester, was 78, and there was no like curving, there was no approximating and whatnot. So if at the end of the day you don't get a 78, pretty much that's it, you're done. You don't get a second chance, you don't get a do-over. So guys, I think I'm just gonna leave it here. I hope I didn't bore out your ears. I started out thinking this video was going to be a short one, but I feel like I've been going off and off for so long. And once again, at this point, you already know what I'm about to ask. Please hit the subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and I guess I'll see you around. Bye bye.